All right, let's jump right in. Think of this as your mental gym for the next few minutes, a quick math workout. We're going to build up that problem-solving muscle and really boost your confidence by tackling some super common arithmetic problems, one rep at a time.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with a quick warm-up on how numbers can wear different disguises. Then, we'll dive into the main set, mastering the core operations. After that, we've got a challenge round with averages and maximums, and we'll finish strong with one final rep on word problems. You ready? Let's do this!
You know, every good workout needs a warm-up. And in math, that means getting comfortable with the fact that numbers show up in different outfits. You've got decimals, fractions, and percentages. Knowing how to switch between them, that's the secret to solving a ton of problems.
Okay, let's put that to the test right now. Take a look at these 5 numbers. 4 of them are basically the same value, just dressed up differently. But one of them, 1 is a total imposter. Take a second. Can you spot which one just doesn't belong?
So what's the easiest way to find that imposter? Well, let's just convert everything into the same format. Decimals are usually pretty easy. And look at that, 0.75, 3/4, 75%, and even 6/8. They all become 0.75. But that 0.75%, whoa, that's way smaller. It's actually 0.0075, so that's our outlier for sure.
All right, warm-up is done. Time for the main set. We're going to hit the 4 big exercises of arithmetic: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Honestly, these are the absolute building blocks for pretty much everything else.
Let's check out 2 kinds of subtraction side by side. On the left, with decimals, the golden rule is simple. Line up the decimal points, then subtract. Easy enough. But on the right, with fractions, it's a totally different game. You can't do anything until you find a common denominator. In this case, it's 15. So you see, same operation, but totally different techniques depending on the number type.
Okay, but what about division? Especially when you get these mixed numbers involved. I know, this looks kind of scary, right? But trust me, there's a simple 4-step process that just cuts right through the confusion.
Let's walk through it. Step 1, get rid of those mixed numbers. Turn them into improper fractions. Now, step 2, and this is the magic trick for dividing fractions. You take that second fraction and you flip it upside down. Then, you just change the division sign to a multiplication sign. From there, it's a piece of cake. Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, simplify it down, and you get our answer, 17/30.
You are crushing this. So let's level up. Welcome to the challenge round. We're moving past just doing the math and into problems where you have to think a little bit more, like finding averages and figuring out which value is the biggest.
First up, what even is an average? Well, think of it as the single number that best represents a whole group of numbers. It's the typical value. And how do you find it? It's simple. You add everything up, and then you divide by how many numbers you had in the first place.
Let's see that with a super simple example. What's the average of 6 and 6? Okay, step 1, add them up. 6 plus 6 is 12. Step 2, how many numbers are there? 2. So, step 3, divide the sum by the count. 12 divided by 2 is 6, which, makes perfect sense, right?
All right, next challenge for you. Which one of these is bigger? We've got 1.3 and the fraction 8/5. Just looking at them, it's not super obvious. We need a way to get them on a level playing field so we can compare them fairly.
And the best strategy here? It goes right back to our warm-up. Let's just turn that fraction into a decimal. We take 8 divided by 5, and what do we get? 1.6. And now the comparison is incredibly easy. 1.6 is definitely bigger than 1.3, so 8/5 is our winner.
We are here, the final rep. This is where we take all the skills we've been practicing and use them in a situation you might actually run into. It's all about translating regular words into math.
So, read this one over. We've got a pile of books, 75 of them. We also know that each box, or carton, holds exactly 24 books. The big question is, how many boxes are we going to need to ship all of them?
You know, the trick to any word problem is to be a detective and find the clues. What do we know? We've got 75 total items, and we're splitting them into groups of 24. Whenever you hear about splitting a total into equal groups, ding, 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 that's a massive clue that the hidden operation here is division. So, we can set up our problem. 75 divided by 24. You punch that into a calculator and it spits out 3.125. Okay, but hold on a second. Are we done? Can you really have 0.125 of a cardboard box?
And this is the final, most important step of a word problem. You have to ask yourself if the answer makes sense in the real world. Of course, you can't have a piece of a carton. 3 cartons will be completely full, but you'll still have some books left over. To pack every single book, you have to grab that 4th carton. So the real-world answer is 4.
And that's our workout. Let's do a quick cool down. The big takeaways are, remember numbers can change their form, so convert them to make life easier. Get really good at the 4 basic operations. Hunt for those keywords in word problems. And most importantly, always do a reality check on your final answer.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about passing a test. It's about having a practical tool for thinking. So as you go about your week, just look around. Are you splitting a dinner bill, doubling a recipe, figuring out a discount? Where could one of these skills make your life just a tiny bit simpler? Think about it.